Hoodies, and I'm here with my co-host,
DANK.
and we're here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity with for their own selfish reasons, and they're still doing it today. So, how's it going, Tank?
Oh, it's it is what it is. I look at every week, and I always feel like if we make it to Friday and we haven't brought funds in, that they won the week, right? Because their whole agenda is to stall, right?
Yeah.
So they stall, and they stall. So here's what I know today. Talked to Kim earlier today, and she said that she brought in $2.5 trillion yesterday. And that might sound familiar from the funds that were brought into government for the virus emergency relief fund, right? And she told President Trump how to deliver them. She sent the money into Chase Bank, and Kim was waiting for them to transfer the 2%, waiting for them to transfer the 2%. They wouldn't do it. As usual, they failed to perform. Just unbelievable. So, with that being said, Kim pulled all the money back. There will not be any stimulus unless they cooperate. That is the fact. There is no other option. Right now, all these generals gather together from all over the world, right? The Jesuits, right? Got together. They all decided to declare, global martial law again, right? Because that's their thing. And but they can't declare a global martial law because they're not in charge. And the highest-ranking general official on the planet is Kim. So they definitely don't want that.
All right.
So they're between a rock and a hard place. They have no way to, advance their actions. However, I'm getting, all types of reports that you have, all the people on the ground. They don't know what to do, right? So you got these boats that are these big ships that are supposed to show up with medical supplies, and the reports I'm getting is that's not what's inside of them. I got a very thorough report from someone directly inside of boats, and it wasn't good. They have a genocidal plan in place, and the Iron Mountain agenda people, they're pushing out their stuff, right? They think it's go time, right? It's time to bring in the Republic and the Sara and global currency reset, none of which are going to happen. So they keep trying to do one thing and another, and they keep meeting it with abject failure. So let's see.
Can you say what's inside the ships?
Yeah, Ken, give me a minute on that one. The report. I'm going through it. Oh my goodness, this is So it's the medical ships are absolutely not all medical personnel. This is from a medic, and they were there. So there's special ops. No, that's not it. 1 second. Let's see. We know that they're putting up things to intercept cell phone calls, around the country, right? These, right down by Michelle Walker, they put some stuff up to try to intercept cell phone calls. And in Texas, they paid for 2,500 new state troopers, and they're planning to basically declare their own version of martial law. There, I think, we locked down over the weekend or something, or Monday. Of course, Monday's the new big day, right? Like they're planning to do everything. So, okay, here it is. It's so we know that we have some former military being called back in, right? And there's this big ship, supposed to be full of medical supplies that's coming to New York City.
Right.
And let's see. I guess right now it's in Chicago. Chicago is supposed to be the epicenter of where everything jumps off from, right?
The ship is in Chicago?
No, I'm not sure about Chicago, but the governor of Illinois is supposed to be the one to, light the spark, right, that brings in the new bureaucracy.
I see.
And let's see.
The bureaucracy, that's a good one.
So they want to. So obviously, martial law is the goal. Let's see. I guess Chicago PD already warned people on Lake Michigan that they're shutting things down, right? In Chicago. Let's see. Okay. That's all I got for now on that little front. But yeah, I have so many intel reports. I have not been able to go through them at all. Okay. The reason why we're launching at 12:30 is because I didn't even realize it was that late because I just haven't stopped working. This ridiculous go to the Speak Project. I'm gonna actually after the show, like 10 minutes after the show, I already uploaded it, but I just didn't make it public yet. And I went through this Times article / video, right? So they show this woman, this Dr. Colleen Smith, and she's in the hospital, and the title of the article is "People Are Dying." It's very ominous. So they show inside the hospital. New York Times had a special, unique opportunity to have 72 hours inside the hospital, of the epicenter in Queens, New York, and Elmhurst, right? Right. It's right next to like Flushing, and Flushing in New York's is it's like the Queens version of a Chinatown, and it's like Chinese and Korean, right? So probably lots of people come back from China, so that would make sense, right? So you'd expect it to be freaking pandemonium right there. Right. She goes, all of these, and she's really being dramatic. She's like, all of these feet, these are people with coronavirus. There's like three people, right? There's like definitely 3 times as many medical personnel as there is patients, right? There is, no one's rushing, no one's running around. There's plenty of space, she's complaining about she goes, we need ventilators. People are dying, right? She keeps going, people are dying. Yeah. And she goes, oh my gosh, she was 5 ventilators came in.
Were you able to, did you try looking up her medical license on the medical board?
I did. I mean, there's a record, but I have no idea if it's real. I mean, my sense about her is she's a drama actor. But she goes, oh, there's 5 ventilators. Thank goodness, right? She goes, I don't know what we're going to do. She goes, unless people die, we're going to run out. But there's 5 ventilators. They weren't hooked up to anyone. Right. So think about it. If you got 5 ventilators, why didn't you rush them over to these people that need them? Because they didn't really need them. If they needed them, they could hook up, right? So then it's like, even in this, they actually outed her. She said, we keep running out of supplies, she says, right? And then it says, the New York City denies that Elmhurst has even come close. It actually says this in the same show, the same article, that they've even come close to running out of supplies. So that's not true. I'm calling them tomorrow because one of the people on our network procured some supplies. So we have a whole bunch of, like 100,000s of masks, right, to send over to them, the ones that they need, right? Okay. So I'm going to call them up tomorrow and be like, hey, I'd like to talk to Dr. Colleen Smith and, tell her that we have procured the supplies.
Well, good.
You guys need it as bad. It's so awful there, right? Everybody's freaking out because what they're doing is they're not even, and she admits it on this video, right? She says, we looked at the lungs of the patients and it's consistent with coronavirus, so they just diagnose them, right? So everybody comes in, they're not even testing them. Right. So you have coronavirus. Everybody has coronavirus. Yeah. It's like people die in hospitals every day. She said, oh, we had to get a refrigerator truck to hold bodies. And then, now she's walking around the hospital for 3 days, 72 hours with a film crew, right? With a film crew. She says she usually sees 200 patients a day. Now she's seeing 400. There's no way this is possible, right? It would be like a minute and a half per patient, which, okay, maybe. But then she starts talking about x-rays and all these things that are showing. It's like, wait.
There's no time to walk around if she's seen that many patients.
She doesn't look tired. Her hair's not out of place,
She doesn't look like she's breaking 25.
no, it's ridiculous. So, and then my favorite one, she goes, I don't care if I get in trouble. I'm speaking out. I'm like, please stop acting like you're brave. You just walked around the hospital for 72 hours with a film crew. Give me a break. Oh, you snuck that one by them. Like, no, you didn't. They set up a photo op for you and told you what to say, and you did, you tool. Like, this whole thing is just disgusting.
Yeah.
You know? So, meanwhile, Kim's supposed to be bringing the money. He goes, no, just brings us the money. What do? Nothing. Absolutely. I can't believe once again that this is being allowed to go on, right? And they raise some money, right? They raise some money because, the goal is always to crash the U.S. economy, buy back for pennies on the dollar. So the government has no money though, right? And what I love right now, what's happening is Kim is not counting money. Nobody is getting paid until the people get paid. Until those fees come in and are paid to the trust, nobody's getting paid. And this ridiculous deal, this negotiation, they said,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was like the Cabal World Order. Say, hey, guess what we're doing? Everything we've been doing. it's like, you gotta be kidding me, It's like, let's go. Enough already. Take these people out. If there's really an alliance and there's really people doing it, then do something. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense really. This kind of they should give checks directly, drop it in their bank accounts. But $5,000 followed by another $5,000 followed by another $5,000. That $5,000. Even if it's an overpayment for what they were normally getting, it's okay. It's to restart the economy. Let people have extra. Have something in there so that they're not going to be restrictive on them, right? Hey, we go out and spend, So they go and get a car, right? The down payment on a car that helps the economy. Whatever it is, put it in their hands directly.
You know what? Put it in our hands. Everybody.
that's what I said.
Bullshit. Yeah, I'm like, look, and I'll say, don't get, and that's great. I'll take the $5,000. But just give us real money. Let's stop messing around. President Trump is out there now. We're sitting on the cure right now. We got it right here, right now. Sitting in my house, got the thing today. But we also have the cure to AIDS and cure to cancer. Sitting in my house right now. Now, what's the problem? Well, the problem is these people don't want anyone to be cured of anything. It doesn't matter if you have, the serum to, instantaneously have the body of a Greek god and live forever. People are ignorant, they're ignorant. And if you want to stay that way, what are you going to do? So you get this whole structure of useless, right? And everyone's bought into the same uselessness. It's amazing. I'm like, how married? To me, I just feel like I think I'd rather just get messed up and killed off than spend an eternity just being so average that nothing ever changes, right? Nothing ever gets better.
Very mediocre.
No one's ever, yeah. Oh,
it's not even mediocre. It's lackluster. There's nothing.
Lackluster, yeah.
There's nothing to it, right? It's like other boredom. They're trying to bore everyone to death, right? So
gosh, this bill. Now, I love our guy Martin. He's a great veteran, salt of the earth, great guy, part of my core team, right? He went through the whole 300-page bill, right? And he gives, and I love him for doing this because I never would have done this. He broke that thing down in about 25 bullet points on the morning couch. I was like, wow, it was amazing. And basically, it was okay. So the Federal Reserve, they tried to renew the Federal Reserve license. They died. That didn't happen. Okay. But they threw that in the bill. Right? Hey, let's start. They're like, hey, I got a great idea. let's start the Federal Reserve up again. So, yeah, it's a great plan. It's great. Listen, why don't you guys go back over to Mushtown where you're from? Die. You suck. So we got. So that was one of the things. The agencies, they were all paid a 10% administration fee. So everybody took their cut in this bill, right?
Yeah.
The Democratic, it's the Democratic version of the FEMA guillotine, right? They're chopping it up, and they're just laughing at us and thinking they scored, right? But at the end of the day, the only reason why Kim did it was to show Trump, watch, let's see what the banks do, right? Let's see what your banks do. And what do? Exactly what we thought they'd do. Nothing. They didn't honor their agreement again. So shut them down. Enough already. Shut the banks down. Shut the nonsense down. Like now, their next move is we're going to martial law, right? So now they're all geared up with their pack of soldiers and polishing their guns and getting ready to, spark a war. And it's all based on lies. I mean, does anybody really want to go to war again about something that's just not true? Does any soldier ever want to be in a situation where they're forced to kill people in the name of freedom, that when they come home, it's not there?
Right.
Right? I mean, I know, they all ask, what the hell was I fighting for? And at the end of the day, they were fighting for organized criminal pedivores who wanted to enslave everyone. Wake up. At Harvard, and the media, nobody in the media is talking about this, right? In Harvard, they busted this professor, right? And he was getting paid from these Chinese special interest groups, right? $50,000 a piece. Then he was sneaking biologically sensitive containers back into the country from Wuhan.
Right.
So this really speaks kind of obviously, doesn't it?
Sure.
They're trying to
spread
release
it around.
biological weapons.
Yeah, they're going to release more of them, and everyone starts dying. This is the mass campaign to get people to start actually dying.
I got that today from my guy who's connected, who's in he's one of the guys behind the scenes who works directly with Trump's cabinet, right? So he's the one that sent it to me. Now, if that came to me from him, I know that's very significant because the media is not talking about it. But this was public. This is you can look it up in the newspaper. In the Department of Defense talks about it. It's like you're talking about the most prominent university in the country, right?
Yeah.
Prominent in law, in medicine, in chemicals and all types of different things, right? It's known, right? It's the elite society for trading grounds for the ball.
Right.
So
Skull and Bones
here they are.
headquarters.
Yeah, right. And all this is going on there. At the same time, the whole Iron Mountain agenda, right? Because they're out there, right? They've been working on this thing for 30 years. They're secret stuff, right? They're ready to go. They're ready to go, and they're ready to kill everybody to do it. It's just a mess, kind of, But now I'm a believer that when things are like this, they're all falling into place, right? And
I think that's where we're at. It's all the plan is moving forward. And it's not the plan that they want. It's not the Iron Mountain agenda.
It's not the Iron Mountain agenda. It's not the alliance agenda for the the global currency reset agenda. It's not the human reset agenda. Right? There is one plan that's been approved, accepted universally. That is the restoration plan. There is one person on the planet who's in charge of it, and she's in charge of every single person's money. This is an absolute fact. And there will be no relief to any single person, no emergency relief fund, until they follow the rules, because they do not have the power to stop it. They try to bring in cryptocurrency, right? The Fed tried to bring in the Fed coin, got blocked. Everything they're doing is being stopped. All because they think it makes more sense for a few of them to have billions of dollars than for us to bring in real money, fund projects, provide jobs, provide cures, all this stuff. They'd rather do it that way. that's a freaking tragedy.
Well, I mean, without any money coming in, isn't that also what they want? Is that it just collapses the economy, but there's no money coming in? So isn't it
Well,
also
that's what they want, right? But their goal is to collapse the economy, then buy it back for pennies on the dollar. To buy something back, you got to have money,
right?
And they don't. So what they keep trying to do is make money, right? I don't mean like go work a good job. I mean make it out of thin air, right? So they made crypto. They tried to advance the crypto agenda. Nope, blocked. They tried to advance the stealing money, right? They raised $62 billion in military guys. Big deal. $60 billion will run out next week. So I don't think Kim's actually even paying the salaries anymore of the government, right? So you've got the whole country in crisis, right? Largely based on a fictitious report. I mean, they couldn't even afford more than one trauma actor, right? they got him over at Elmhurst Hospital. At least they couldn't have made it scary.
She didn't even get paid. That was just like, hey, we're going to shoot this, you want to get some experience acting? So
yeah. That is, I would say that's 100% correct. So it's that bad, right? It's that bad that even the trauma acting is suffering. So,
And one other thing is, the other thing is that they're so stingy. They won't even contribute to their own plans, right? So they only want to take out money from programs so that they siphon off, and they'll then say, okay, we'll use part of that for this, but they all take their cut, right? That they don't want to take anything go out of their account, their own personal accounts.
Oh no.
Cannot have any of that. So they cut their own throats. But again, maybe they don't have anything there either. Maybe Kim already took that.
Maybe it's Oh no, yeah, actually that's probably true. I'm sure they can't move money. I'm sure the young person was. It's like it's got to be infuriating. Matter of fact, I know it is because they did it to me and to you. Right? So they're just kind of showing up to the party and saying, hey, you've been here, right? So as we're fighting to do the most basic, simple, just the most basic thing, it's like this isn't even. There isn't even an argument. They don't even have an option. The only alternative plan they offer is genocide.
Yeah. Oh, such a good plan.
I just feel like this would be a sitcom, right? And they'd be like, so wait a minute, man. So you plan
listen, Kramer, this is
to eat the babies. I'm gonna eat the babies. Why? How would that help, dude? This makes sense. Like, they're all just sitting around getting high. Come up with idiotic things to do.
Yeah, population control. Eat the babies.
Eat the babies. We're gonna have to eat the babies. Like, what? How did that even enter into your consciousness? Do you think that's a viable? How does that help anyone? Jesus.
Oh, I want to bring up something. This was on In Pursuit of Truth yesterday, new video. It's a pretty good one. He put some effort into a lot of research. He researched adrenochrome back to these first studies back in the 1950s, right? And their uses in psychiatry, right? And and so it turns out that the use of this, now this is not just, it's not actually just this happens also kind of other ways, but the aspect of it having this hallucinogenic properties creates a situation in your brain where schizophrenia can basically take root.
Oh, makes sense.
Right, and the use of this will ultimately create the situation for schizophrenia, where you're hearing voices, auditory hallucinations, visual hallucinations, such as, oh look, I now have magical powers. Right? I added that part. Sorry. About the magical powers part.
Maybe people just do.
Well, but they're hearing and seeing things at this point, and so it creates a situation where your brain can go into that pattern. In other words, it kind of lays down the foundation where it can take root as a mental disease, and that it is probably didn't exist prior
to schizophrenia didn't exist. Oh,
yeah. So it's kind of like without the hallucinogenic property of it, it couldn't exist. But it also has to do with its conversion, into this. There's a lot of talking about the melanin. So the reason why they're going after, say, the kids in Haiti was because of the melanin content. Because the melanin content is necessary, right, to create this adrenochrome.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so very, very interesting, but I would encourage people to go and watch it. So it's almost an hour, but it's definitely worth. It's some heavy science too. So you got to sit through it. But he kind of paints the picture, as he goes through it. It seems like this was the stuff that was, so it also goes into the EpiPens, right? That schools are required to buy. 65,000 schools are required to stock this item from one company, right? Because they give a discount to the schools, which breaks some other laws about, you can't require someone only to buy from you because they bought prior, right? It's against the law. But anyway, they do this, and they only have a shelf life of 18 months, and then they have to get rid of them. So this creates this marketplace for expired EpiPens, which are not really expired. Where do they go to? That's where he couldn't find out what's happening to these expired EpiPens. But that's when they start to turn brown, a brownish color. That's when they are actually converting into adrenochrome.
Goodness gracious, this thing.
Yeah. But the thing is, all their stuff is coming out, right? It's being exposed. We're here doing it. We're digging, and finding out these things, and it's all there, right? It's how entrenched, the different medical, elements of the medical field are part of it. How they've actually put themselves, into creating more studies and doing things, all funded by the government, right? So it's this whole system is so corrupted by this evil. Now it's becoming visual. We can see where it exists, and we can now draw all the lines, and now we can literally route it out. I got something here that I wanna show. Let me go ahead and switch my display around here. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you so you can get a handle on this. Okay. So there's a reporter, right, that's giving comments about, what, of course, this is the Pope, right? But let's see what she has to say.
He's also saying we're not out of the woods yet, reminding everyone to take the lockdown seriously. Experts finding 8 factions.
What'd she say?
8 faction?
Listen.
Finding 8,000 people in just the past week, reminding them that arresting finding.
You heard it?
Experts arresting 8.
Arresting 8,000 people arrested.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Anyway, it's just she backed out of what she was saying, but go back and listen.
Experts finding 8,000 people in just the past week, reminding them that now is the time to act. And Italians are saying what's happening in their country should be a reminder of what could happen around the rest of it.
So this could be happening around the world. 8,000 people arrested. So are the arrests already underway? So this is Trump is saying we're now up to 152 countries that we're attacking the hidden enemy. So anyway, so there's some stuff that's going down. We just don't know, and we're probably not going to know. Are there major things going to be moving forward? After the first, are we going to see power outage, no internet? Maybe it's just a total blackout, and they don't allow any news at all except for the emergency broadcast channel. And
I'm not buying it, man. It's not it's they got all this craziness going on everywhere. It's like we just can't. I really don't think we can give them an inch. So then it's you're trying to kill everybody. Like that is a crime. It's punishable. Like, why do they exist above the law? Like, you can. I cannot believe that there's this large laid out plan with all these people participating. If the basic core agreements that they're not even knowledgeable. They don't even understand.
Yep.
So it doesn't make sense to me, anyways.
Well, their plan is stupid, and they're stupid they're stupid for going along with it. They're stupid for thinking that this is the right thing to do. Buying into whatever it was to make them think this was a good idea, as being the science or the justification for it. Hey, we got to save the planet. The planet's going to be just fine, right? Yeah, and if there was a particular real issue, we could solve the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have the technology. If we're talking about carbon in the atmosphere, or CO2 in the atmosphere from fossil fuels. Well, great. We've had the solution for this for 100 years.
More than that. It's called trees. Sorry. No,
well, I was thinking more Tesla, but okay.
Yeah, no.
Trees work. Yeah, trees work. Well, that's so interesting. The Republican counter, to the Green New Deal was 1 trillion trees planted. That was brilliant. They're going to plant 1 trillion trees.
Yeah, that is brilliant.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a solution that's much better than no aircraft, no cars, no cows farting, no whatever else, population decrease with vaccines, no, plant trees. The number one sequesterer of carbon, then we can then use as a resource.
Oh the simplicity is mind blowing.
You could make it all fruit trees. You could throw in some ornamental ones. That's okay, but you can like say be creative. Oh, well, we need to harvest this one for fiber. We need plant trees. We can solve these problems, right? But it's this idea that the people are the problem and not the solution.
We're just look. We need government, Dan. We need more government. More government.
No government. Low government. Very little government. Even the government shouldn't be really involved in so much of what the way things evolve, right? People going in a certain direction, something that is evolving and taking off. government shouldn't get involved with it because it's taking off, right? Whether it's the rules that they put in place to protect things are the start of the problem. The rules they put in place, I go back to people talking about Medicare for all, right? Single payer, wonderful concept of basically bringing down the cost of medical care to free, right? Which nothing is free, right? If it's free, it's not worth anything, right? And they'll make sure of it because of the government's involvement with it.
Sure.
So if you want to bring down the costs, you get rid of insurance, and you get rid of government rules.
It just sounds magical when you say it. It's like I'm not anti-government. I'm anti-stupid, right?
Sure.
And,
well, okay. Let's say what is the smart part of when something happens? Let's look at, say, something that's very complicated, right? In the world today, right? And it's out of everyone's daily life. Plumbing and electrical, right? Everyone has plumbing and electrical in their house. If something goes wrong, you don't really deal with it yourself. I mean, if you took it on as a hobby and you learned about it, great. But there's some complicated stuff, especially when you get in big buildings and things like that. Who came up with the rules on how that was to work? It wasn't the government. It was the trade. The trade came up with the rules. They said, this is what's safe. This is how we do this. It's only when the government gets involved and then starts to dictate to them that screws everything up. Right. So it's about the people, or the trade in this case, the people that actually do it, coming up with what the rules would be.
Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So-
I feel like I can appreciate the way Tommy is, just so frustrated. And probably doesn't want to cuss too much, right? It's like just always calls them clowns, right?
Yeah.
Because it is just like, hey, look what we're doing now. They're dancing around. They're saying this. They posture big, right? That's why this report with this doctor, who, whether she's real or not, is irrelevant. I mean, they could easily fabricate her. But their performance is so obvious they don't have any. They got people locked outside. It's like there's so much science out there right now. I put out Corona breakdown 1, 2, and 3. I can keep doing it indefinitely to show the folly in all this ridiculousness, right? And we have a lot of doctor contacts, and they're saying the same thing. They're like, it's crazy. It's Sharmageddon. It's what's gonna happen. This is never gonna end.
I picked up.
Lucy?
I'm sorry. There's a story I just caught a glimpse of. I have no idea if it's true or not. But it said Trump fires his coronavirus team. I don't know if it's true or not, but and they were focused on the doctor, the head of the CDC, but the whole team is fired. I don't know. Did you hear anything about that?
Well, I didn't. But I gotta tell you, that would make me incredibly happy.
Right. I know, that's what I was bringing up because when I saw that when the guy that's from the CDC, and he's coming out, and he seems very credible guy, right? And he's talking, and but he's the one that says, well, it may take much longer, right, than another 2 weeks, right? And he's kind of like and then when I see he's sitting in the background when Trump is speaking, his eyes are going like very like like his like maybe it's a reptilian background in his genetics, but I don't know. But it starts to make me curious. It's like it's 2 weeks separation on something that doesn't even need it in the first place because it's not killing people, except it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's killing the elderly, average age of 80. So
I mean, wasn't it in Italy, right? They showed in Italy that it was there's 3,000 deaths in Italy or something like that, and they showed that almost all of them,
except for two,
two or three,
except for two, yeah,
two, are over 80.
yeah.
And then now they're going back in and they're examining the organs, and they're like, wait, this isn't coronavirus. They didn't die from coronavirus. They had other conditions.
Yeah. So it's a non-event, right? That they've whipped up. So now that guy from the CDC is like, now I'm checking, going, is this really, is he really like, whose side is he on? Is he part of the original agenda? I don't know.
Right.
I'm just questioning it. Because it doesn't make sense. Now, if he gets on board and he comes around and he says, "Okay, the 2 weeks is over," well, maybe we need another week. That fits the plan, right? The QAnon plan, right? It's from the 1st to the 10th, and the markers that were put there from the posts that were like posts. I think it was 27 or 24. So in the beginning of QAnon, they put this out there like. This would be a marker, and it kind of fits, So we have a 30-day marker and a 15-day marker, and it all ends where everything is starting to, it ends on the 10th of April. That all points to. So, and the 11th of April is kind of like everyone gets informed on the 11th of April what just happened, and after that. It's about keeping peace while people digest the mass arrests, the cleaning up of all that has happened worldwide, right? So you'll keep people calm during the next periods after that. So,
okay, I don't doubt that there's people getting arrested. Okay. Just like I don't doubt that when there's war, soldiers die, right? But it never accomplishes anything, and they never take out people that are criminals. Everybody knows criminals that operate somehow above the law. I mean, way above, because it's not like they're, operating. It's like, they get away with traffic tickets. Right? They get away with creating massive industries that traffic children, and then they torture them and feed on them, right, as a business. Right? So until that hierarchy is just pushed off the wall, there's no chance anything we're saying is what is really what we think.
oh yeah,
In the planning, because as a matter of fact, this I know for a fact. There is no military operation going on that gives us a date, the civilians, right? A date 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance. We would not know. We would never know until it was already done. So the fact that they're putting that date out there, that means we're already in the midst of a military operation or an intelligence operation, and it's a psyops, and they're playing the tomorrow game. And so what they're doing is they're getting all of us to look ahead to another date so that we'll wait a little longer and we'll be quiet a little longer. And then when that date comes, they'll have an excuse every day, right? They'll have a unique excuse that will take place every day. And then they'll go back to, oh no, the cabal hacked the system. Oh my gosh, right? And
horrible.
Like it wasn't them. Yeah.
Well, listen.
No,
I get it. It's like these dates are some of them are not real, right? A lot of them are not real. But they definitely do have a good way of pointing to the next date. So yeah, is there a tomorrow game being played here, or is there a real agenda with QAnon, right? That's really going to end up defeating the cabal. I tend to believe yes, it's a real agenda to get rid of them. So is it going to be where we know the actual date? Maybe not. Maybe it's already happening right now. Not, and everything during the April 1st to the April 10th is, it's already over, right? But it could be something like that. It could be also getting them to run. Getting them to run out of their house to be picked up because they'll be catching all the others.
Run what? Nobody even does anything. Who cares? Like, nobody. If I was them and I'd done nothing but have every advantage and constantly win, right now, what am I afraid of? Right? If I was them, like, they do this all the time. They don't care. They're used to this. They're used to bringing things right up to the edge. I think about all the generals, from like the Jesuit order together. They decided to declare martial law, right? They're used to being able to do that. Not running from anything. The only way to take out a bully is punch him right in the mouth. Or actually right in the nose. And it's funny, I'm in no way an advocate of violence of any kind. However, I'm also, I don't walk away from fight either.
Right.
And when I look at this, what really irritates me in this whole thing is like the whole process. It's like where somebody in this cluster F of loserdom, besides just Kim, has got to be like, hey guys, we're making awful decisions here, right? Like, we really need to change course. Like, this plan sucks, right? And I have a bunch of documents that I'm getting ready to put out there. I don't know, that'll show that. And right now, I'm amazingly, I'm sitting on the cure for the coronavirus. So I guess I can just wait for it to wipe everybody else out. My family will be healthy, right? Because that's their version of success. Yeah. So all this, it's kind of, it's laughable to me. What are we doing? So I don't have answers though right now because the wallet system, we got finished. Like our guys got it finished before they got paid. And, that's something that's very viable that can be up and running in pretty short order. But that's something like that's a week or two out. Oh my gosh, no telling what'll happen in a week, next week.
Oh yeah.
Over the course of the next week, right? Like anything can happen. By next week, we can be in, global prison law. Okay, nobody's allowed to do anything.
Right.
Stay home. So, see what happens. I don't even know what's going on in the news either. I haven't even looked up. But I've been working nonstop, and I just haven't even looked up to see what's going on.
Well, we can. There's a lot of repeats. For example, Biden making gaffes. Biden's a rape victim came forward. Got to believe the victims, right? So there's a whole audio of her telling what he did to her. New.
Wow.
So obviously the press can't ignore her because you got to believe the victims. All right? You got to believe her. So they better start believing.
Presidential candidate, right?
Yeah, right now this is news. All right, that I just listened to her. All right, she's pretty devastated, and it's something that happened, and she does give details that kind of really fit his character, what he would look, when she rejected him, right? What she felt afterwards. It seems like it's something like that. Well, let's put it this way. It was more than like what Trump was said about grabbing someone, right? It was more than that. So.
Gotcha.
So this is new. So that's I don't know if we're going to see them coming after him, but I think this is enough to sink Biden at this point. There'd be no way for him to proceed, right? How can they push forward a rapist that has lost his mind as their candidate? Well, actually, maybe that is their candidate. That makes them.
Well, yeah. That's kind of what Hillary is too, right?
Yeah, it's kind of.
That seems like I think that's their brand, isn't it?
Seems to me, yeah.
Hey.
So, but I think that this is like without, the smoke and mirrors. So I think they need the smoke and mirrors part, and without that, I don't think they can push Biden anymore. I think he's done at this point with this allegation coming out. Just listening to the audio on this. Now, I got this off of Jimmy Dore, Jimmy Dore show, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And that's from today. So I would encourage people pass that around, right?
Good deal.
So they're going to have to substitute Biden, which is with who? Bernie.
Yeah. Feel the burn.
Feel the burn. So that because Bernie hasn't dropped out.
Right. Well, he's hoping the voting machines get fixed, right? Like they did when Trump ran.
Right.
Someone's got to get. But I'll tell you what, I do have a little bit of a theory on it that most people probably won't agree. That's fine. But right now, it feels to me like our success is completely connected to just a few people that are, right on the track. So like, I realize like when everything's going great, everything seems to be coming together, and the government in the world too, right? Separately. And then when we have we have some kind of issue personally, or whatever, we get drawn into this negative frequency, we go right back on the same old track, which is where they are. So I think it's very, very important for everybody to just realize how powerful they are. To just be incredibly happy about what the world that is in front of you to grow with, manipulate, change, build, revert, whatever it is you want to do. You can build. It's your chance. Yeah. But I say, I don't even know. I guess what I'm saying is pray. Just pray. Pray. Pray for whatever it is you need, whatever your relationship with God. Just pray. God's call right now. Shut us off. Go and say God or universe or Uncle George, but whoever it is that you feel like you need to talk to, and just say, how can I help? How can I help to make a difference? And I bet you, if people just ask that one question, if everybody just asked, how can I help? You know how much further along we'd be? It'd be so easy.
Well, let's do that. Good time to break.
I'm with you. Everybody in the land of Oz, you have a great night. Dan, I appreciate you as always. And talk tomorrow.
All right, everyone. You have a good day and a good night. So be sure to subscribe. Our numbers are still going up. So please subscribe. Even if you think you subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed because they unsubscribed many. And then please go ahead and pass this on. Give thumbs up. Give the likes. You need the likes. Keep doing it. Because this is where we can now push this back through, right? We've now broken through the shadow banning. Thanks. I can just think it's Trump that basically called them into the office and said, "Listen, you're going to stop." And then they stopped all their censoring. So we can make the move. Let's push the channel. Let's do it. Speak Project as well. Also, Thomas's. All the links are down below. All right, everybody.
Appreciate it. Good night.
Bye-bye.